Hey, good day, YouTube. Good day, everyone. I want to discuss. So today, I think this video is more in my comfort zone. Some of them are outside my comfort zone, and I like getting outside my comfort zone. But this is probably more in my comfort zone. I want to discuss the desired rank to retire. Okay. Now, this isn't going to be about knowing when it's time to retire. This is just to help goal set based off rank. All right. What provokes this is over the years. Well, first of all, back my goals, my internal goals at an early age, early rank. One was possibly to become a drill sergeant. Okay. The other was to become a first sergeant. Okay. E8 diamond wearer upon retiring. Now, when I was coming up in the 90s, and even the early 2000s, we often wanted to be challenged. Okay, we might not have realized it until we were challenged, but there was an inherent desire to be challenged. And along with that, it was just like, man, I'm gonna do this till I get my 20-year letter. Okay, and usually that feeling, that mindset started setting in about the mid mark. Okay, 10 years in, 12 years in. Of course, now retirement has changed. You got the blended retirement system. This is under traditional. So the thought of, how much money and points and those types of things really wasn't discussed, at least, in the audiences that I was part of. Okay. It might have been a thought, but we really didn't discuss it much. We just knew that, man, I'm either getting out at my ETS, okay, because I'm just tired of this shit, or I'm gonna try and stick it out now till 20 years, till I get my 20-year letter, because I'm over 10 years, man. I'm vested. I might as well, right? So I had a desire to become drill sergeant, first sergeant. So I was fortunate to achieve both of those goals. And I did not know for sure that was going to happen. All right. I was a specialist for a long time. I was a shammer. Okay. So I was a late bloomer on the NCO ranks. All right. When I became, let's fast forward a little bit. I don't want to bore you. So when I became a first sergeant, it was at literally my 20th year anniversary date. Literally the date, I got my 20-year letter 3 months after pinning first sergeant. Now, things change based off needs of Army, right? So prior to me being a first sergeant, at one point in time, you could pin the rank and retire like within that same year and retire at that rank. A buddy of mine told me this, who'd been a first sergeant way longer than I had. Well, it changed. So at that point in time, it was 2 years time and grade for sergeant first class to E8, and then it was 2 years time and grade as well for E8 to E9 or retire. So I had to wear it for 2 years to retire and later be able to draw out that rank. All right. So I achieved my goal, become a first sergeant. One of my predecessors on his way out, I kid you not. All right. This guy's still serving today. I'm not going to say his name because I don't have permission to do so. He said, "Good luck, brother. This job, to sum it up, is a lot like high-paid babysitting." Okay? So I can identify with that at this point. All right? He was not wrong. I had goals to make it more than that. All right? I wanted to make my soldiers that I was charged to lead accomplished and feel accomplished. And my biggest thing became progression and how to enhance their career progression. All right. So let's back up a little bit. I had buddies along the way around that time who made master sergeant. And he'd be like, "Man, brother, I really want to be a first sergeant." what's your advice on how to do that? It says, well, first of all, why do you want to be a first sergeant? Well, I'm thinking about retiring, but I'm kicking myself in the butt right now because I haven't wore the diamond. I'm like, man, look, there ain't no shame in your game, okay? They said, well, easy for you to say you're wearing the diamond. Got it, brother. Got it, okay? You do you, but do it for the right reasons, okay? Because there's always going to be a sacrifice in serving, especially at the senior ranks. The excuses for getting out of things really shrink up as you go higher, all right? The stress doesn't shrink. The stress does this, okay? So, what am I trying to say here? At least aspire to retire an E7 or Sergeant First Class. That's pretty doable by 20 years, okay? If you make E8 and you're struggling to get a First Sergeant slot, or don't even want a First Sergeant slot, don't worry about it, all right? But don't malinger. Don't malinger. Be of service to the Army. Honorably serve. Okay, there's going to be sacrifice in serving. Now, that being said, I know there are exceptions out there, loaded in CDMOS specifically, where soldiers will end up retiring or could retire short of being a Sergeant First Class. That I feel is unfortunate, because I do really believe that you can easily attain that goal of getting your 20-year letter as Sergeant First Class, retiring out of Sergeant First Class. All right, don't get all wrapped around the axle about the money and the points. Okay, to max out our points is very difficult unless you've got a lot of active duty time. I mean, a lot of active duty time. So when I was an E8, one of my brother-in-arms who retired shortly after I became an E8, because they were at like 26, 27 years. They said 26, 27 years is like the magic number of years to retire with points. I don't know what they were exactly getting at that time. I can tell you I just retired with 3,657 points. Okay, and I'm at 30 years. Okay, I don't have a lot of active duty time. I think your max points to hit that is like 6,500 points. Okay. Now, so that covers the enlisted. When you start going from E7 to E9 and you're thinking about that, just imagine tacking on another 10 years. Okay, so the difference of the next rank or two could mean, in fact, serving 30 years versus 20. I want you to think about that, because that's very realistic. Very realistic. The reason is the time and grade requirement is now 3 years, okay? Then to actually, make the list and get promoted, there's going to be buffer time there once you've met the time and grade. Okay, you see what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not a mathematician, but just let that sink in. And I think that's the difference also in becoming what they call a lifer, okay? Be careful about getting tied to the money and the benefits. I know it's easy to do. I will tell you, you can live without it. There is life after the money and the benefits, but just caution you, because a lot of soldiers become lifers, and then they end up serving. Well, they stayed in for 30, so why not go 40? Why not go till they can draw? All right. Why do I caution you against that? The stress. All right. And there's a lot of stress that you don't realize until you walk away from it. All right. I know this. All right. So let's switch over to the officers. Similar. Officers, you should strive to at least make captain. All right. You can very well likely make major at 20 years. Retire out at either grade. Okay. The next hurdle for you is lieutenant colonel and then colonel. All right. Now it's a little different sometimes not really. They make more money. A captain makes a little bit more money than a E8. Okay. Think about that. But they have more responsibility. They have the accountability. NCOs have responsibility. Officers are accountable for all that they sign for and serve over, command over. Okay, think about that. That's why part of why they make more money. Plus, they have to have college. Now, the difference maker for an officer, 20 to 30 years, can be going for lieutenant colonel and colonel, typically. All right, field grade measures pretty easy to attain. By 20 years, maybe you have to put in a little bit more than 20 years to serve out at that grade rank. Okay. So that's overall my advice. E7 for E7 or captain for 20. Above and beyond, you got to start thinking you might have to serve. You might wind up putting yourself in till 30. Beyond that, okay. Now, of course, officers have the mandatory retirement dates in place. Enlisted, the maximum years of service are currently waived because of strength in numbers. We're not where we need to be. We've fallen short for many years. Maximum years of service has been suspended for quite some time. What's that mean? So if you stay green, you can still serve, really no matter what rank you are as an enlisted. All right. So that's my advice for your rank to retire. Okay. It's not all about the money. Our drafted vets taught us painful lessons in this. Okay. Serving is not all about the money. Understand there is sacrifice and stress in serving. All right. You're not going to get out of conference calls and meetings and stupid stuff that you don't want to do by promoting. All right. There's exceptions to everything. And there might have been once upon a time where you moved up to have an easier job, have an easier life. That's not really such the case anymore. Not if you're trying to do the job and do it well. All right. It's busy, hectic, stressful. There are rewards. Okay. It is rewarding for those that you serve and lead. The feedback you get from that and having a purpose, it gives you a purpose, but understand it's not forever. Okay, whether you go to MRD or not, MRD being your oldest age that you can serve and collect at, or whatever your rank runs out at on the officer side. Just understand there's stress to go along with it. So it's not all about the money. But I just wanted to give you that advice. It says strive again, make E7, captain or O3 by 20 years. And be content with that. Try to be content with that, okay? There is no shame in your game. Understand, about 1% of society serves. So that's kind of the benchmark, okay, initially, all right? So I hope this helps. I know it's generalized. It's my opinion, okay? Hopefully the opinion of several others as well. But I just wanted to try and give you a goal gate or a gate to go for, to achieve, all right? If you're an E5 at 12 years, if you're a lieutenant, those types of things, or a second lieutenant rather, depending on how late you commissioned, okay? And you want to achieve more rank by 20 years, get after it. Get after it now. Go to the schools, get the schools done, keep your schools going, keep your schools completed, all right? Online training's not going away. I don't see it going away. If it does, come back and slap me, and I'll be happy, all right? All right, have a good day. Please like and subscribe and comment if you desire. Cool.